Welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host, TINLA, and today we're doing a pick a card reading. I was feeling kind of macabre, hence the black theme here with these decks by Spirit Speak and our black stones. We've got our black Obsidian, we've got our black Tourmaline, and we have our lava rock. Each of these readings is wildly different from one another. So it's kind of like that guy Stefan from SNL, where he'd be like, "This club has everything it's got," and he'd name all these weird things. We have all those things. Each of these decks and the readings totally different. Go with what speaks to you. If what starts to come out doesn't make sense to you, pick another deck. No one's holding you accountable. We also have an extended reading. Super excited to share that with you. It's my first extended reading on the website, www.tinlatarot.com. Extendeds, memberships. Again, we got it all. We've got book club, we've got live streams, we've got book of readings, all the fun stuff. It's going to be in the description box below. Like, share, subscribe, pick your deck. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host, Tinla, and if you chose pile 1 and this beautiful black obsidian stone, this is your reading. So what I'd like to do is start with some cards to talk about what the challenges are in your life right now, pile 1. And let's go ahead and start with the Invisible Order Oracle. I will have all the decks, of course, listed in the description as always. I also have the website running, tinlatarot.com. On there you can book readings, you can rent the extended of this video, which we'll talk about later, and you can join a membership tier. But enough about that. Let's find out the challenges for my pile 1 people. Pile 1, what are your challenges, my loves? Disclosure and enlightenment. And I want to point out just a fun little side fact for you, pile 1. I did this reading last night and it got lost in the sauce somehow. And disclosure came out with that one as well. Enlightenment was different. So I think Spirit had a hand, as it does, in what you needed to see. So let me go then to some of the advice and then we're going to read it all together, okay? This is my Cosmic Magic Oracle. I was feeling a little darker when I pulled these things, which is why all the stones are black and the decks are largely dark, if in theme, if not in color. Get some advice, Spirit, for pile 1, please. Gemini, number 3, Curiosity. And I'm going to get one more in the advice, and this is another oracle called the Storm Cloud Oracle. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you like, share, subscribe, etc. But just glad you're here, and let's find out more about what's going on with you. So far, the other readings I've done have been very different from one another, so let's see. All right, we've got the Rat, Less is More, number, looks like 40. Okay, let us find out. I'm going to start there actually with the Rat and the advice and kind of work my way around. So, number 40, the Rat. An interesting card. I mean, nobody likes rats, so anyway. It says here, it's easy to feel like you always need to be hustling, striving, improving, growing. Life in the rat race can be exhausting. When the Rat card comes up, it is a reminder that you don't always need something new or to grow or expand. It's okay to be still. It's okay to be content. You don't have to keep chasing more just because the world tells you to. Slow down, appreciate what you already have. You have worked hard to get here. Take some time to just be. You don't need to rush on to the next big thing already. It's on page 101, by the way, which is a real nice sense of symmetry. All right, let's get the other one in advice, the Gemini, which also symmetry, Gemini, the twins, right? And twins. I'm sorry, I can't help myself every time with Gemini. Anyway, it says here, Gemini and curiosity, go hand in hand. An air sign ruled by the planet Mercury, Geminis are associated with communication, curiosity, and versatility. They thrive in absorbing all the information that they can and love to learn new things. The Gemini card acts as a reminder to allow yourself to be curious, to try something new, to meet new people, to learn about something that's always intrigued you, to go somewhere that you've never been before, to connect with your imagination and create something just to see where it goes. The sky is a limit if you allow it to be. The affirmation is, I am adaptable and open to exploring and enjoying new experiences. And I'm going to tell you out of the gate here, pile one, that what I'm really feeling is a sense of, by sitting in stillness and not constantly being on a quest or a side quest for self improvement or the next big thing, and being in stillness, you will be able to reach new heights and get new clarity on some of the things in your life that you've been really striving for. Almost by like sitting back in that stillness, you will get further ahead through that curiosity that naturally comes about through, I dare say, boredom. I'm already getting an energy, pile one, that you're like movers and shakers, you're doers, you're on the road to enlightenment on a perpetual basis. But I feel like I need to read Disclosure first for some reason. Number 26. Let's take a look. Disclosure. Also a great song. But anyway. Revelation, shock, inner truth. The Disclosure card signals a sudden unveiling, something buried, rising without permission. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. This could be an external secret revealed or a collective truth finally acknowledged. More powerfully, it may be your own hidden truth, something you've buried deep, perhaps even from yourself. A secret memory, a secret memory or identity that has been gnawing at your subconscious, shaping your choices from behind the veil. When this card face the truth directly, whether it's emerging from within or from the world around you. Speak it, even if it shakes the ground. Healing begins on the other side of revelation. And let's go to enlightenment. Enlightenment. That is number 8. Revelation. Didn't we just say that? Awakening and ascent. The enlightenment card marks your breakthrough beyond conditioned thinking. You are discovering inner truth. Wow. Okay. Not borrowed from teachers, books, or authorities. This awakening emerges from direct experience, sudden knowing that cuts through years of confusion and seeking. The illuminated figure is you, recognizing your divine nature without external validation. Inner wisdom has been waiting beneath layers of doubt, fear, and learned beliefs. Now it rises to guide you with unshakable certainty. This isn't about becoming special, it's about remembering who you truly are beneath the programming. The light you're seeing is consciousness awakening to itself. When this card appears, trust your inner voice completely. Stop searching outside yourself for answers. Move forward with decisions rooted in your own knowing. This goes back to what I was saying, right? Going within, going quiet. Stop the force, stop forcing the discovery, right? Stop looking outside. Stop trying to make things happen so much all the time. It will come about in its own way, and it's there for you. It's always within you. That revelation is, I'm feeling like it's on the cusp. You're on the cusp of a very large change in your life, and it's like you don't even know it because you're so busy in the, dare I say, a rat race. Okay, let's take a look at what the challenges are specifically this week for my pile one people. Let's take a look at the pile one challenges this week in terms of the rat race and their quest for enlightenment. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good that you're on a quest for enlightenment. It's good that you're curious. It's good that you're really digging and working hard and all that. But sometimes there's growth in peace. It's almost like we sleep sometimes to build memory, to build muscle. It seems like we're not doing anything because we're sleeping, but that rest is still just as powerful as forcing things, All right, let's see. We have the 7 of Cups. I was just going to say there's confusion, right? We're talking about that confusion here and the enlightenment. And that is the energy you're in. You've got a lot of choices. You're always, again, you're looking around like, I've got this and that going on. I've got these things I could be doing. It's always doing, right? And I don't think this week has been any different for you. Also, the clouds have 3 eyes for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's like your head is in the clouds. Your head is so busy focusing on the what ifs that you're not enjoying the now. King of Cups. Also, what a weird card. You've got a giant like lobster claw, and I don't even want to call it a trident. It's got 5 prongs, so it's more like a weird fork. Anyway, although fork has the word 4 in it, which makes me think it's 4 things. But anyway, neither here nor there. It's not a trident. It's not a fork. It's a 5-pronged thing. Point is, it's all weird. Okay. You have a fascination with the supernatural, with the unusual, right? Which is great. We love that. Strength, taming the beast, Ace of Wands, speaking your truth. I think this week has been an interesting one for you, right? You've got a lot of choices. Your head's in the clouds. You're in on like a spiritual journey of sorts. You're so busy like looking outside and being interested in the supernatural, which again is cool, is great, right? I'm getting like very Donnie Darko vibes here. Um, but you're having like an aha moment. And there's a lot of musical notes there, which makes me think, music is very important to you. And almost like sitting down, reading a book or listening to music and just enjoying that moment and being your own weird self, without reservation or without like a point or a purpose or doing something because you have to get somewhere. That's what's going to lead you to the enlightenment that you're actually seeking. All right, let's find out. What is happening in your environment that is making you feel this way? We've got the Nine of Pentacles and the High Priestess. So what I'm getting here is you're like, you're single. I mean, you're self-sufficient. Let me put it that way. And you've almost like finally achieved a level of success in what you were looking for before. And so again, it's like on to the next. And the next for you is this High Priestess, for some reason, vomiting out a snake, which is like the Ouroboros is giving me that. It's like that snake eating its own tail, infinity energy. And of course, the High Priestess is like all things esoteric. She's got a crystal ball here. So it's almost like the rich person who finally gets everything they want in life. And now they're like, okay, well, what's next? I want to have the spiritual enlightenment. Unlike really rich billionaire people who decide that they're going to, I don't know, do horrible things that end up in certain lists that won't be produced because we live in a hellscape. Anyway, what I'm asking then is, do you feel supported in this quest for truth? Do you feel supported? The devil? Yeah, there's some little weirdo, and I love this because there's two people here, and I can't really show the card too well because it's got some stuff and things on it. But you're kind of either somebody's actually supporting you, or you're like having some dreams of people who are supporting you, or some like obsessions that you feel are supporting you. And then we've got this Three of Pentacles energy, which is like, yeah, you got someone supporting you. You got like a team of, I hate to say weirdos. Like if you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a loving relationship, with somebody who like gets your weirdness, and is like on this cool journey with you, which I gotta tell you, I love that for you. Do you have somebody specific on your mind when I talk about this person that's building with you? Do you have somebody specific, pile one? You're giving me quite a lot of joy because there's just a lot of chuckles here. You are my kind of weirdo, and I love that. It's hard, when you're an overachiever, you're always reaching for the next, and then you're like, ooh, but what about this, right? What about astrology, and what about aliens, and what about the next achievement in life? You're a thinker, you're somebody who's always been curious. Just be careful you don't end up, I don't want to say in a cult, but I'm just going to say in a cult. Okay. So don't do that. Be careful. All right. Question everything all the time. And people who don't want to hear your questions, do not trust them. That's just my thought on it. Spirit can support that. You can, whatever you want to think. This is not legal advice for sure, or any kind of advice, but where was I? Okay. What is an outcome you can look forward to? Temperance, getting to that balance. The Empress, you've got a rebirth here. And also, look, the Empress in this deck has a planche, I think it's called, which is the little doodad that you use on a Ouija board, right? So very mystical. And the Magician, look at this. I mean, first of all, you got a lot of major arcana. So this is a big deal, right? You're like discovering your own spiritual power. And it's the Magician. Need I say more? Like you've got a balance of these things. Like, it's very Phoenix energy here. You've got, water into fire, which is amazing. You've got Empress, you got a whole planet, either looks like Saturn or something there. You've got this energy of, again, the mystical that is really of import to you right now. And when I'm seeing the outcome on this, it's like you're going to get the things you want, but I'm suspecting the advice is going to be on par with what we were talking about here, which is letting go. Almost stop being on the quest to be on the quest. You're already on the quest. You don't have to try to be on the quest. The quest is there. Just live your life, enjoy your life, be with family, friends, read a book, like listen to music, just enjoy life. The quest is going to unfold in front of you. Honestly, whether you like it or not, I know that's what you want, but truthfully, like, you don't have to try. It will just come to you. Anyway, what's the advice? What's the thought here, Spirit? What can I share with my pile one people? Nope, there we go. The Tower, look at that. More major arcana. Amazing. Like, this is a big change, This is like, these look like magic hands to me. Like, this person's about to pull like a rabbit out of a hat kind of situation. This person is clapping, and the world, the elements are biting. There's going to be a change. There's going to be a change, but it's like you just got to let go a little bit to do it, to get there. One more on the advice, please, to get to this outcome that is so desired. Knight of Cups. That's small movements toward the thing that is true to your heart. You don't have to have everything all at once. This is not a horse that's galloping in there. It's happy. It's enjoying, it's stopping to like smell the roses here, if you will. Or it's winning like the rose parade, I guess, or one of the what is it, like the Kentucky Derby where they get all the roses. I don't know. The point is, you are like, live your glamorous, happy life, and all these things will come to you. Anything else, Spirit, that needs to be said to pile one before we go off into the extended? Okay, Knight of Wands. Look, more energy of movement forward. Look, need I say more? There's a whole ass path. Okay, a whole path right there of movement. You take those movements, you go take action, but the path will unfold in front of you. You can't force the path. The path is not a straight line here, is what I'm getting. It's a weird, wonky, curvy line, and I know you want it to be a straight line to things you're seeking, or the whatever you're looking for achievement. But life doesn't work that way sometimes. Spirit doesn't work that way. It's by letting go that we can embrace what it means to live. And what I've got here is this Eight of Swords. You are the one holding yourself back, honestly, by forcing it. I'm here. I don't know why I'm hearing that song, like, you can't hurry love. Oh, you'll just have to wait. I don't know why, because I don't know that this is a love reading, but it's on my mind. And what I do want to also say is, what are we going to talk about in our extended here, people? What are we going to talk about? I'm very much feeling the same. The card just came out. Let's see what the extended is going to be about. Let's get some hints on the extended here. What Spirit wants to talk to you further about. What is that card going to be? Let's take a look. Oh my goodness. I feel like there's a degree of like mystery here for me, and a little bit of patience needed on my part, because like I said, I already recorded this once. But let's see. All right, what do we have? Pleasure. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I mean, it's a beautiful scene. I love this artist. I think all of her scenes are beautiful in this deck. And, I think what this stresses for me is, look, we've got another unfolding path here, a path to the mystical, and this beautiful doe I'm feeling is like you, like stopping to smell the roses. Like, you're finally recognizing the path is there. Like I said, you don't have to search for the path. It's already there. You just need to relax into it and let it be, and you will be able to get there. So we're going to talk about this more in the extended. If you'd like to join me, again, the link will be in the description box below, and we're going to explore a little bit about what this card means here without the confines of the YouTube lords lording over us. But Just rest assured, pile one, all the mystical, magical, clarifying, spiritual things you're seeking are on the horizon here. Um, just, you don't have to consciously seek it out. I know you have a curious mind, but you don't have to force it. You can't force it. It will unfold, and I don't think it's going to take that long though. But I think Spirit's saying appreciate the now, love your life now, enjoy your life now, and I would agree. If you don't join me in extended, I still love you. I will see you next time on This Is Not Legal Advice. Bye. Good evening. If you chose pile 2 and this beautiful tourmaline stone, this is your reading. I am TINLA, and let's go ahead and get started with the challenges you might be facing, pile 2. Let's go ahead and get a hint of what challenges are. This is the Invisible Order deck. It's a little bit different, and I love that about it. But so are you. I feel like you're a little bit different. We love that. Anyway, go check out the website, tinlatarot.com. On there you can book readings. You can buy the extended, which we'll get into in a minute, or 5 or 10, or who knows. And you also can become a member. We'll have that on there with extra content, all the goodness. Okay, so let's find out. Pile 2. What are the challenges for pile 2? Confluence and system, and we're going to come back and talk about these and define them with the deck here. Let's talk about the advice, because these all play together. What's the advice for pile 2? Unlike other pick a card readings that I've done, I did not pre-pull cards and research them. I'm just pulling them right here, right now, my loves. Let's see. Pluto, Death, card 22. Okay. And then another piece of advice from Spirit, please. And then we will get crack-a-lackin'. Once I read these and we kind of analyze them based on what I'm being guided by Spirit to suggest or say, you can decide if this is your reading. If not, feel free to visit pile 1 or pile 3, whatever, floats your proverbial boat. Okay. This is card number 43, The Witch. You have magic in your bones. All right, let's go ahead and start with that, because why not? Number 43, you have magic in your bones. The witch appears to remind you of your inherent power. You are made of stardust. You stand at the top of a pyramid of ancestors that all survived through ice ages and wars for you to exist. You can do anything. Anything. The power of the cosmos and the earth is behind you, before you, and standing by your side. The universe is conspiring in your favor. Now is the time to act, to trust your instincts, and to walk your own path. Like the magician, you are the conduit. What you imagine, you can conjure. Beautiful. Let's go invisible order, because I feel like it. Confluence. Confluence. That's number 17, which is the star card, or reduces to 8, which is strength. That's Aquarius energy, by the way, with the star card. Connection, flow, meeting point. This card marks the quiet arrival of a significant intersection. You may be experiencing the joining of opposing ideas, surprising partnerships, or fragmented aspects of yourself seeking integration. It's not always harmonious. Sometimes the rivers clash before they combine. Confluence asks for presence, not perfection. What you're meeting may seem contradictory at first, but unity often lives inside paradox. Let opposing forces reveal what they are creating together. Don't resist the convergence. Meet it with awareness and allow flow to reshape your path. What once felt separate now belongs. All right, let's take a look at system while we're here. Number 37, which breaks down to 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune or change. Okay, the code words for 37 are structure, support, and interdependence. The system reveals the hidden architecture of your inner world, patterns, habits, and responses crafted over years of living. Like the great machine before you, your psyche operates through interconnected mechanisms. How you process grief, celebrate joy, or navigate conflict. Each cog represents a choice made long ago that now runs automatically. Which patterns serve your highest evolution? What drains your vital force without purpose? Ancient survival programs may still be running, suited to past selves but hindering present growth. When this card appears, choose one element of your inner system to adjust today. Reframe a limiting belief, shift a habit, or create a new boundary. You are the master of your own design. All right, I'm about to pull this all together. Let's take a look at Pluto. Pluto to the dance floor. Pluto. Sorry. Not sorry, though. Anyway. Ending, transition, transformation, letting go. Death is necessary for rebirth, for new growth. And we are talking about metaphorical death here, not literal death. No need to fear the Pluto card. Instead, think of this card as a positive one, as it is about marking the end of something to make room for something new. Closing a door, ending a chapter in your life. Actually, more like writing a brand new story altogether. Pluto is the modern planetary ruler of the powerful sign Scorpio, which is traditionally ruled by Mars, and it governs over the 8th house of transformation. Pluto was named after the god of the underworld, and it is associated with death and rebirth. It represents power, regeneration, transformation, and also the process of breaking old patterns and beliefs, which I feel like really ties in here, but we'll come back. The Pluto card acts as a reminder to let the things die that are no longer serving your best interest, to close the doors, to end unhealthy cycles, to bury what's holding you back. Your affirmation is, I trust that the transitions and endings in my life are serving their best purpose, and I'm moving forward with them courageously. Okay. So it seems to me here, pile 2, that what you're dealing with is, okay, your challenges right now are moving past systems in the past. Wow, words. Where you have done things a certain kind of way, or other people expect you to do them. But I'm feeling like in this one, it's sort of an offshoot from pile 1, where you are yourself expecting this. Pile 1 was more about other people's expectations, but this is you expecting certain things from yourself, and really not being willing to see the change as a positive thing, as something that enables you to um, build and be better, and uh, you know form new things in your life. And what I'm feeling here is you have that power within you. Spirit saying you have the power to effectuate change. It's almost like you're feeling powerless here, like the rivers are so forceful, the current of your life is so forceful, and it's so regimented that it's almost like you can't do anything, you're feeling stuck. But the advice from spirit here is you actually can manifest the life you want. You just have to be willing to let some things go, to really self-reflect and evaluate what is working for you and what is not working for you anymore. And it's tough. I'm not going to lie. It's tough, right? But you can actually do that, and fight the system, if you will, the things in your life. It almost reminds me of people who, they have their particular schedule, and if things go off a little bit, it just sets their whole day in a total mess. And I'm feeling that, but like on a grander scale, where it's like, oh, this river was doing this, and we thought it was going this way, but all of a sudden, oh my gosh, something else crazy comes in. But it can be a beautiful, bigger thing if we let it. And quite honestly, I don't think you have a choice. I hate to say that, but I feel like you don't have a choice. What you do have a choice in is how you're going to embrace that. I'm feeling like these two rivers here are very analogous to these two snakes, right? Where it harmonizes, where the universe spirit is saying, hey, you do have some degree of power here. You can't change the current, you can't change the way things ultimately go, but you can change how you interpret it and how you process it and how you choose to deal with things that are happening. So I'm really feeling, pile 2, like you're going through something right now that is changing your frame of mind, that is changing the things you expected in life, and that aren't happening the way that you expected them to happen. But that's not a bad thing. It can actually be a beautiful thing, that forms something greater than you can imagine. Okay. So if that's what like is resonating with you, then this, my dear, is your pile. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at what you're feeling this week. We're going to use our deck here to talk about, in other words, talk about what you're feeling this week, okay? Now, I'm recording this last week of January, but whenever you find this, is for you. This reading is timeless. Take it as it resonates, okay? So what is the pile 2 viewer feeling right now when they are watching this? What has been their feeling this week? Outside of, being excited to be here with me, TINLA. Hi. Okay. We have the 5 of Swords. Okay. How many more? Oh, look, it was already ready to go. The Queen of Cups. And the Star. All right. Okay. Here it is. I was waiting for this. I'm going to be honest with you. When I was pulling the decks for this reading, I was feeling rather bleak, which is why everything is black. All the stones, all the decks. But this is the reality, okay? This week in particular, there is a struggle going on. This 5 of Swords, this is a battle. This is, in particular, with these women and the moon, the words crescent moon here. It talks to me about, and the knife in the back. It talks to me about the struggle that the divine feminine has in this world. I know I just lost a bunch of you, but look, let's be real. Look, right here. Queen of Cups. This is clearly a uterus, and these are IUDs, okay? This is about feminine power. And it's a feeling of there is a battle right now over the heart and soul and freedom of our nation. And I feel like, yes, you're hopeful, but I'm recording this from the United States. And so those of you in other countries, I'm so happy for you. But here, there is a huge struggle for women's rights, and it feels like we're always on the run and we're always trying our best to deal with whatever the new cycles are, whatever the new current is, whatever's going on. It's always a challenge. And right now, we're trying so hard to fill our own cups. And I feel like Spirit's saying, you're here, your challenge is, you're feeling very strained by this, this struggle between yourself as a divine feminine and filling your own cup, and also what society expects of you and how to cope with that. And you're hopeful, which I think is freaking great. It's better than me, if I'm honest. You're very hopeful, but it's been a very challenging week where, you're seeing, I think, a lot of the rights. And listen, to be clear, you can be a divine masculine, you could be an actual masculine, whatever you associate with, okay? But we can all, I think, at least acknowledge that women's bodies or femme presenting bodies are under assault right now. And they have been for some time. And but this has become exceptionally evident in the recent past, this past week. And what I think is beautiful is there's like a freedom that is still there, and an embracing of hope, of healing, of possibility, despite it all. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about you, Pile 2, is that you actually, in spite of everything that's going on around you, in spite of the negativity, you're still feeling very positive. You're still feeling like, things could go okay. Let's find out exactly what's happening in your environment here, Pile 2. What's like in particular? Because earlier we were talking about, changes and shifts and expectations, and I'm feeling more and more like that's expectations again on either side of, you know um, traditional roles in society, in relationships. And I'm not going to shy away from that here. If this is for you, Pile 2, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you're not knowing what I'm saying, then maybe Pile 2 is not for you. That's okay. But for Pile 2, like, there are systems in place that have held you back that are shifting. And I feel like there's a sense of like, well, burn it down. You've come to the right place, my love. A Knight of Swords. Let's take a look. The Three of Wands. And the Eight of Swords. Okay, so I have to do some of this business up in here. All right. So, all right. In terms of what's happening in your environment, there's like a renewed energy of truth, of, not, of like, I feel like for the first time in a long time, there's a truth being shared in the environment of what's really going on here. The assault on autonomy, of body autonomy, is happening. Three of Wands is an energy of like the future, looking toward the future and being concerned about that. And the Eight of Swords is feeling like we're trapped without a choice. We can't find a way out. And so that's the environment I think we're in. Is there, like, for the first time, I think a lot of, again, people who are divine feminines, actual females, in terms of sex, females in terms of gender identity, pick your poison, it doesn't matter. The point is, society at large is finally starting to see, at least those awakened folk are finally starting to see the control that society has placed over women's bodies. And it's honestly, it's a stark reality. And what's the future look like? Is it, there's Eight of Swords, like, what can we do about this? That's the environment we're in right now. And looking in retrospect, there's going to be change, there's going to be growth, there's going to be things we can manifest. We've got to burn down the old systems, we've got to merge into, together as a whole. And these cards really put these past cards in context, because we were talking about, being worried about what does the future hold, and these old ways of doing things, and moving past those. And in a way, we have to die to the old ways, the old world, and manifest something different. And it's not going to be easy. So what I'd like to know is, are you feeling supported, pile two? Are you feeling supported in this sort of awakening that you're having? King of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups. I feel like Spirit's saying, like, you're putting in the hard work. Some people are contributing financially, some people are contributing, actual sweat equity here. But either way, there's a spirit of unity, of love. And I think that's beautiful. I think so many people, as a result of these realizations and the struggle that is being recognized, are actually finding more love for one another. I think, we've been programmed as women to hate each other so much in this world, and to compete with each other. And finally, I feel like there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of acknowledgement of, we're all contributing in our own ways. And some of us have arisen from the dirt, with these roots, and the mushrooms that are here. And like, we're the most we can do is give a coin. We only have so much effort, we only have so much left to do, but that's okay, because there are other people around us that can give in different ways. And either way, it's an outpouring of love. And I just, honestly, I think that's beautiful. I do. Is there somebody on pile two's mind? And I know it's a very unorthodox reading, and it's okay if it's not for you. But if it is, you're my people. Pile two. I mean, pile one is as well. I'm sure pile three will be. But pile two is a very specific reading. So is there somebody specific on your mind who is with you on this journey? Let's talk about that person. We have the Six of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is somebody who sees the truth, somebody who sees the history here, the actuality of what has been going on for a very long time. And they're willing to start the work. Like, this is new to this person, right? Like, you may be dealing with somebody who, for the first time, like, their eyes are open, and And they're seeing that the value sometimes of women is who loves them. And it's, I think, a startling awakening for them. Like, we as women oftentimes are revered for our beauty and certain aspects, but then, we're told once we get to a certain age, or we're not good enough, or we're too much or not enough, or whatever it is, it's like we're judged so harshly by the outside world. And whoever this person is that you're with or that you're thinking about, they see that. And this almost looks like two eyes here, like especially from afar, like two eyeballs. I mean, there are eyes here obviously, but my point is, this is somebody who really is getting it, and they're seeing the truth, right? With the Ace of Swords is an energy of truth, and the Seven of Wands is holding the fort, like defending things, like really being able to set those boundaries and defend you, right? Let's take a look. Let's get some more. Four of Pentacles. Yeah. And Five of Swords. Like, they're willing to go to bat for you. Like, they're not, this person, like, unlike some others, they're not going to let you go for being strong. I feel like, Pile 2, you've had to be strong for a long time. And the person on your mind, they see that strength, and they're going to fight alongside with you for that change, right? For that escape from the system, to manifest a better future, to not be afraid of that. And I think, as we're going through this, Spirit is very much making it clear that this reading for you, Pile 2, is about your struggle and your journey to embracing your own truth, to seeing the reality of what we have been through, and also to embrace your capacity to manifest change, to cause the end of old systems, to see a better future where these two different systems, like two different ideas, can come together, where the divine masculine and divine feminine can come together in unity and complement each other. These energies of power and authority and strength can come together um, with softness and gentleness and empathy, and a desire to show compassion. That those things are not mutually exclusive, that they can work together and form a better world. And I think that there's a lot of Pile 2 folks here who are really seeing that. And then we have the Nine of Wands. This is, look, it's the wounded warrior here. This is an energy of so close to the finish line. You're so close. You're almost there. Don't give up. Don't be distracted by these, growth, these things around you, right? You can make it. You can still do great things. Don't be distracted. What I'm going to do also is I'm going to go into an extended reading where we get more in depth into this. And I'm going to pull a card here to get a sense of what Spirit is going to talk about or be advising on in that extended reading. So let's see what the preview is for that extended reading for Pile 2. Can we get a clue here, please? What Spirit might be interested in sharing? Focus. We got looks like a snow leopard on there. You are in the elements, right? You are fighting in the cold, and you are alone, it feels like here. So let's find out what this focus card is about in the extended reading, to help you get through what I'm seeing are some very, very tough times, but times of great change and great potential. And you are going to be Pile 2, you're going to be a leader in that journey. And I'm both excited for you and also empathetic toward the struggle here. And so I want to find out in the extended what this is about. And if you'd like to find out as well, please join me in that extended. I'll have a link in the comments or description below. But for now, if you can't join me for that, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. This is TINLA. Have a beautiful, beautiful night. If you picked pile 3 and the lava stone, this is your reading. So let me go ahead and take this over here and get our first deck, which is going to represent the challenges and concerns that you're experiencing right now, pile 3. Thank you for joining me on This Is Not Legal Advice. I am your host, TINLA, and I'm so glad that you're here with me on this Pick a Card event. Let's see what is going on. I also just launched the website, which is tinlatarot.com. On there you can book readings, you can get the extended for this reading, and you can also get access to the membership tiers. So that's enough of that. Let's see what is going on. Spirit, what is pile 3? What are they thinking about? What's their challenge? What's their concern? Anonymous. All right. And portal. Okay. We're going to read these through in just a second, but I want to get my other cards about advice from Spirit on these things so we can get a holistic view of what is going on here. I can tell you already that with the Anonymous card and the Portal card, both like walking away from the center, it already gives a sense of being torn between two options, feeling alone and not centered. You might be going two different directions, like should I stay or should I go? You know, that song, and also life. But let's take a look. The South Node, Karma, card number 34, which, 3 and 4 is 7, which is that Chariot energy. So you're moving, and already I'm getting a sense, remember I told you it's like going separately. When you have a Chariot card and you want to move, you've got to have your horses kind of in unison moving in the same direction. So I'm already getting a sense of, the advice here being, you got to move in a frame of mind where you've come to a decision. But anyway, let me not get ahead of myself. I'm going to get one more card here on the advice, and then we'll read what's going on in its totality. All right. 34 also makes me think, 3 is that Empress energy, 4 is the Emperor energy, so you might be also in a place of balance or needing balance. Like I said, with those two horses in the Chariot card going in unison and equally yoked and all that. Karma, of course, very similar, this equal give and take. There's a lot of energy of equality, of trying to balance things out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Justice card, the Two of Pentacles. Those are all things I'm kind of feeling here. Oh, look. What did I just say? The double-edged sword. Think carefully. Okay, so I just want to point out, like, didn't I just say the Justice card? And I know this is a sword, but, like, it looks very, the scales of justice here, right? So, yeah, okay, fine. 25 also is this number. 2 and 5 is 7. So, again, more of that Chariot energy. So, very, very consistent on this. And let's see what Anonymous is about here, and then we will get even more clarity, okay? Anonymous is number 38. That's an 11. Fun fact, is the Justice card. So do with that what you will. All right. Number 38. Secrecy, sacrifice, truth. Okay. And I will, of course, as always, drop the names of these decks in the description. It says, this card embodies the sacred act of disappearing in service of a greater cause. It is the archetype of the unseen protector, the voice that moves through hidden channels. When Anonymous appears, it calls you to examine your role in truth-telling. Are you hiding to protect or to avoid? Is your silence strength or is it fear? I'm seeing a lot of dichotomy in this. That's me saying that. You may feel the instinct to withdraw from constant exposure, sensing that too much visibility dilutes your purpose. Sometimes the most powerful forces operate without identity or recognition. When this card appears, step back from the noise, operate quietly but with precision. Let your integrity, not your presence, carry your influence. All right, let's take a look at Portal. I just saw it. Where did it go? All right. Oh, there it is. It's number 9, which is the Hermit card, which makes sense. He's kind of withdrawing off into a closeted sort of sense, or like sequestered. Anyway, it says here, threshold, choice, transformation. This card marks a critical turning point. The portal is not a passage of ease. It requires conscious sacrifice. To cross is to abandon the safety of the known, including identities, beliefs, or roles that once defined you. You may sense an inner push to step into something radically different, a new life chapter, a deeper purpose, a truth that won't let go. But transition demands courage. The portal won't open forever. Not everyone will understand your decision, but the doorway is yours alone to claim. Step through with your whole being. No part of you can remain behind. This is your moment to say yes to becoming. Again, a lot of choice energy, again, between those two things we talked about. Let's take a look more at this South Node on karma. All right, let's see. What is South Node number 34? What are you about? Here it is. The South Node is a point in astrology that symbolizes karma, lessons, challenges, and things we might need to release so we can evolve. The South Node reminds us of the sense of responsibility of our actions that comes with karma and helps us to live intentionally and with kindness and compassion. It also encourages us to learn from our past actions, to self-reflect, and to seek personal growth. Your affirmation is, I am mindful of my actions and the energy that I put out into the world. And this double-edged sword, which says also think carefully. That number 25 we talked about. Oops, there it is. When this card appears, you may be at a fork in the road. A decision must be made. Look, I told you. And it calls for clear thinking. Set emotions aside and rely on reason, logic, and analysis. Like the blade itself, your mind must be sharp and discerning. Just like a game of chess, consider your options carefully. Think through the outcomes of each move. Will the benefits outweigh the risks? Do not be swayed by emotion, confusion, or deception. The sharpest blade is a focused mind. Wield it wisely. All right, so in total, what I'm seeing here is the challenges for you are going to be, again, balancing yourself and the different things you've got going on. And that's the energy really specifically of, do I go off into a new direction entirely in my life? Do I change some of the things that I thought were very stable? Or do I withdraw and really take no action? This is more of an action card, and this is more of an inaction card. And I think you're very much torn between the two. And what I'm feeling here is you need that sharp mind and a view toward, how are my current actions a reflection of my past actions? And it's a weird balance, of course, because you don't want your current actions to be completely based on your prior actions, right? You don't want that past that you have, the history that you have in your life, to hold you back from anything, but you also want to learn from that. And so it's really a fine line between learning from the past and letting the past dictate who you are. And that's where I feel like you're really struggling right now is maybe you have a new opportunity in front of you, maybe a new job, or like you're off to college, or you're thinking about grad school, or again, a new relationship, and you're wondering, like, what do I do with this? Like, again, I'm seeing this grasping of the heart with the anonymous card. It's a very deep and personal situation for you. It's not something superficial like, pizza or tacos, right? This is something very significant. And, you really want to make the right choice. But I think you're concerned, like, am I doing this because of my past in a negative way? Or am I doing it because of my past in the sense that I've learned from the past, right? So let's get some cards from our deck here on what you are feeling this week, pile 3. What is pile 3 feeling this week, Spirit? What are they feeling this week? Besides excited to be here, which I'm excited to have you. Page of Cups. Oh, all right. Look at that. Two of Pentacles. Oh, the balancing act. What did I say? Didn't I say we would probably see the Two of Pentacles? I feel like I did. Anyway, what else are you feeling this week? I feel like, well, I'll get to that in a second. One more, and then we'll talk about it. Oops, there it is. Seven of Cups. Yes. Ah, okay, look, I'm tired of being right. Okay, so with the Seven of Cups, we'll start here. That's this energy of too many choices, indecision, paralysis, decision fatigue, confusion. I think one minute you might feel like one thing is the right choice, but the next minute you're like, oh, but maybe it's not. And Two of Pentacles, again, is an energy of balancing things out. But look at the way this card is. First of all, you have like a confusing little spiral there in the middle, which I think adds this Seven of Cups energy. And you have like pressure from both sides. Like I'm seeing very, I hate to say it because I am a Libra, but it is very Libra energy of indecision where it's like, oh, I can see the pros here and the cons here. Like you're looking at it and you're still left in confusion. Like again, here I'm seeing like 1 minute, this seems like the solution. Like, yes, this is the best option. And then somebody says something to you, right? Somebody says something to you about, wouldn't this be great? Like, what about this? Have you thought about this? Right? This thing that you love. And then you just spiral right back to, oh, maybe that's not the best choice. Maybe there's something else. So in this case, I will say, unlike a lot of other readings, it seems to me this week, part of your problem is people you care about because they're giving you a lot of feedback. You're not, like, even though you have to walk through this door alone, even though we all walk our own journeys, and it is always good to get feedback, it seems like the feedback you're getting is just furthering your confusion here, okay? So maybe it's a time to, you know, keep things close to the vest here, where you can like go within and decide for yourself what you need. What's happening specifically in the environment for my pile 3 people, my peeps? Again, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. There will be an extended, I'll get into that in a little bit. But again, all the information for the website, etc. is in the description, including all the names of these cool cards, which are by one company, all the tarot decks. All right, Ace of Cups, the environment. We're talking about the environment, the Queen of Cups, woo, and the Ten of Wands. All right, remember the question I asked was about what's happening in your environment right now. You know, I'm seeing that you're coming to the end of a cycle here with the Ten of Wands. You know, you've been through it. You've seen some things, man, and some stuff. You've seen almost too much, where you've had a lot of experiences in your life. I'm feeling like you're somebody who was a very old soul, or told you were an old soul growing up. You've really had a lot of experience, and in your environment right now, you have an outpouring of love toward you, and you are normally a very loving person. And I'm almost feeling like you are somebody who has foregone opportunities in favor of love in the past. But this time around, it's like you don't want to do that. You're kind of trying to, you know, give it up here with those wands falling out in this particular picture. You know, you're used to having that Queen of Cups, you know, crowning everything, that love, that open-heartedness, crowning everything. And you can feel like there are a lot of people who love you, but is that love, you know, for you and who you are, or who they think you are? And I feel like you're really in a place where you're seeking your own truth with the way these eyes are here. So I'm seeing like you've got to really go within and do what's right for you and you alone. Again, it really harkens back to this energy of friends and family advice and information is very helpful, but sometimes it can add to the confusion. This card felt the need to come out. So what I was going to ask, and I know Spirit knows this, is, you know, are you feeling supported in where you are right now? And it's the Six of Cups. This is an energy of somebody who is a long-standing friend or family member. You know, there might be like one person that you have in your life that you've known a very long time. Could be a lover, could be a friend, could be, again, a family member, a cousin, an aunt, you know, again, a friend from elementary school or whatever, that you can rely on, and you feel like this person really gets me. And they might be one person whose advice would be worth listening to. So I do think there is support there, but it's honestly, it's few and far between. And so, you know, I want to know, what is the outcome for this pile 3 person? What is their outcome? I know you all want to know what the outcome is, because you're like sitting here riding the struggle bus trying to figure it out, right? Oh, okay. What do we got? Ace of Swords. Yeah, you're going to get the truth. 10 of Pentacles. You will make the right choice. 3 of Cups. Yes, there's going to be celebrations. You're going to, what I'm getting here is you're going to finally just make a decision with this Ace of Swords. There will be a moment where you just, I hate to say it, but like, you know, do it or get off the pot, right? You decide for yourself, I am going to do this thing, and whether it's a perfect decision or not a perfect decision, I know that it's going to work out because I'm going to make it work. And once you've actually settled into that decision, you're going to be in a place of relaxation and celebration. Like once that, again, I'm not saying you have to wait for the thing to come to fruition to celebrate. It just almost feels like the release of having made a decision in and of itself will allow you the emotional freedom to relax and enjoy your life again. I feel like this has been a burden really weighing on you for some time. And I think you will, in the end, come to a decision that you will make work and feel good about and be at peace about. What is the advice, Spirit, on this? What is the advice? 10 of Cups. Yes, we love that. Stay optimistic. All right? Don't give up. Don't feel like a sense of despair. You can do this, right? 6 of Swords. You can move on. 6 of Swords is an energy of healing, of growing, of moving past troubled waters into calmer waters. You know, finally getting to that point of like reaching the sun, and not like in an Icarus way where you know, then plummet to the ground. I know you're worried about that. Like, what if I make the wrong choice? But what I'm getting here is the advice is don't focus so much on what other people are going to think or feel about what you're doing. You've got to do what's right for you and what you envision and what's going to make you happy and what is going to give you peace. And I'm getting sort of the sense of, it's like somebody who's told their entire life growing up, like, you have to go be a doctor. We need you to be a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer or a professional sports player or some other kind of career in particular. And you're like, you know what? I just want to dance. I just want to, you know, I don't know, be an offshore oil drilling guy. I don't know why I thought about that. But anyway, you know, you're thinking about whatever thing it is that is specific to you. And by the way, this just fell out. This is a King of Swords, which doesn't normally have a scales of justice on it, but here we are, okay? Anywho, the point is, you know, I'm getting this energy of you have to do what's right for you and stay true to your vision and what you really love doing. Don't worry about disappointing other people. Don't worry about their opinions. Do you for once. Focus on you and maybe stop oversharing, because oversharing, I think, is going to lead to more panic and freezing in your tracks rather than taking action. So, you know, I just was flipping things around. I got the Ace of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which is an energy of, you know, generally of action, of finally taking that first step, which I feel like is what needs to happen. It's almost a leap then look. You know, you've looked around long enough. Just do it already. And I'm also thinking about when Edison was inventing, you know, the light bulb, and he tried the experiment, like, I don't know, thousands of times, I think it was. And one time he just happened to have dirty fingers and he touched the coil, and it was something about the way that particular powdery chemical he had on his fingers that it caused the light. It was almost like a freak accident, but he just kept going and didn't give up. And he knew that it was the right thing, and he didn't let people dissuade him from what he knew was possible. And yet here we are with our ring lamps and everything else. So let me get a card that will be an introduction to what we're doing in the extended here for you. Pile 3, I think this is great. You got this. That's what I'm feeling like here is you got this. You got this. Just take that first step and the rest will unfold on its own. And the people who really love you will be there for you no matter what. And I do think you have a lot of people around you that do love you. In fact, they might be giving you a lot of advice and thoughts and consideration because of how much they love you. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you, right? All right, let's find out. Enough of me yapping. All right, the extended will be able to be rented. You can go to the website. Like I said, I'll drop the link in the comments. But here we are, or in the description, rather. Wisdom. Okay, your card is wisdom. And I'd love to get more into that. We'll do that, like I said, in the extended, but for now, let's just appreciate the beauty of these cards, the tropical fish and this ethereal mermaid. I don't know what this card's going to say. We'll get into what the book says about it and how it plays out with everything else. But for now, pile 3, if you don't join me in the extended, I still wish you all the best, and I have great faith in you that you've got this. Thanks for joining me on This Is Not Legal Advice. Bye.